Welcome to Ranking Every Commander with the Nitpicking Nerds.
We're almost done with the whole list. We're doing 40 to 31.
I'm your host, Joe Cherries.
I'm your host, Beezy, and that makes us the Nitpicking Nerds. If you're enjoying our countdown that is just unprecedented and uncopyable, then you should just give us a sub. Do a little, give us a sub.
And besides, you want to be subscribed to this channel because our subscribers are 10% more likely to succeed with their nefarious plans. And we all know there's a few evil villains watching this.
Yeah, the next runner-up for disclaimers was next time you die, you'll just be written out instead, so you can get brought back in later.
Okay.
Yeah, that was next.
That was next.
Okay. Who's number 40?
Number 40 is Okan, Eye of Chaos.
What do?
4 in a red for a Cyclops Berserker 3/3. Partner with Zindersplit, Eye of Wisdom. At the beginning of combat on your turn, flip a coin until you lose a flip. Whenever a player wins a coin flip, double Okan's power and toughness until end of turn.
What is this deck trying to do? Well, you're partnering with the Zindersplit almost always, so it's an Izzet deck. You want to just, if your focus is mainly on this guy or you're trying to do whatever with this guy, you just flip a coin. You want to win 3 flips in a row, make this guy lethal, and then kill somebody with commander damage.
Then any coin flip that's going on that you can win counts toward it. It doesn't just have to be his flip specifically.
Yeah, and even if it is like Krark's Thumb, you're probably going to win 3.
Yeah, you're gonna win.
That's like the poster child of that whole deck, though. You just go 3 to 6, 6 to 12, 6 to 12 to 24, kill somebody.
Yeah.
Great.
Sad
That seems pretty reasonable.
It's sad that he doesn't have trample. I'm sure you put ways in this deck to give him trample because that would make a lot of sense.
Or just unblockable.
That too.
Haste, that kind of thing.
You're in blue. You can just slip through space.
Yeah, his power is so low. Come on. He's a 3/3 for 5. You have to win 3 coin flips, and then he's just a lethal thing. And then you have to get him into the red zone somehow. This card sucks in terms of power.
In terms of power, this card's not very good.
Everything
But
else, he's like home run.
in terms of fun, the coin flip deck, come on. Come on. The coin flip
How
deck.
is it not getting a 10? What do you hate playing against the coin flip deck? Maybe you need to reassign your priorities, okay?
Yeah,
the art is not even that great in terms of... I just love the fact that he's got the little cage for Zindersplit, and they're best friends.
They hang out. They're both friends because they both have one eyes. One's smart, one's dumb.
One's smart, one's dumb. Cyclops, homunculus. It's so cute. They're little buddies.
It's a very classic, like...
Oddball pairing? What is it? It's not. That's not what it's called. There's a word for it, right?
I don't know. But it's, whatever it's called. Like you have
mismatch, something like that.
The smart guy and the big brute. Like that's just a
sitcom in the making.
10 for uniqueness. I mean, do we even have another commander besides Zindersplit?
Partners with, cares about coin flipping. Okay, it's a 10.
I mean,
great.
Cares about coin flipping seems to be, how are you not going to be a 10 for uniqueness?
It's up there, 9 or 10, and it's just the partner's just gravy. And also, I will mention, he has a 2 for power, but partners with or partner gives you +1 power. Because you get access to other colors and other strategies and stuff. And there's no point in grading every single partner combination separately. Like, I'm not going to do Okan, Zindersplit, and then Okan and Zindersplit.
Yeah. We'll just do them separately, but...
Separate but equal.
That's not what that means.
No, it isn't. Narset, Enlightened Master, 39. She's 3 and a Jeskai for a 3/2 hexproof first striker. Whenever she attacks, you exile the top 4 cards of your library. You can cast any number of non-creatures this turn without paying their mana cost.
You fill your deck with extra turn cards almost always because
taking turn. I've seen a lot of Planeswalker decks because you can just get 3 Planeswalkers with it if you really stack your deck. This is tough. Your deck is full of big, clunky do-nothings, so you really got to cheat out Narset super, super fast because she's really strong, and then you have to attack with her.
And you have to hit with her.
No.
Oh, that's right. You don't have to hit with her. I was thinking you had to hit with. In my mind, you had to hit with her.
Well, she would have less than an 8 for power if you did.
That's true. You don't have to hit with her because that would be not what she does.
Yeah. Well, now that we're getting so high up in the count, almost everything has really high marks for fun, but she loses almost all of her points for not being that fun.
I mean, she's the normal deck. One of the most popular versions of this deck is taking turns.
This card is just kind of miserable. It has hexproof, so you can't even kill it when it's out, and then all they have to do is attack. They don't have to hit. And it's just, ooh, I did my thing. It doesn't feel super great to lose to.
Hexproof is a really lame ability.
Yeah, even a bad version of this deck can be very frustrating. There's also you could just do land destruction so that Narset just never has any, opposition.
Okay, well, all this sounds really lame. But 10 for art.
Yeah, 10 for art. It's fantastic. She's got the pose. I don't know. I can't do it, but she looks very zen.
You were almost doing it.
Very martial arts. It's cool. It's super cool.
Does she have like
karate and
karate?
Karate.
Karate. Okay, karate.
Now look at all that stuff,
Am I right? Karate.
Her story is great. Her story is 90% great. She is a monk from the Jeskai / Ojutai clan because there was a time reset. So basically none of this ever happened, but she was the Khan of the Jeskai, and then she was helping Sarkhan get to the Ugin's Nexus, but she got killed by Zergo. Also, she has autism, which I will mention later at the end. The new timeline, she ended up figuring out all the stuff from the old one. She had like visions of planes and stuff when she was little. Ojutai was kind of like, all right, cool, just keep seeking knowledge. That's great. I don't even have a problem with it. Why does she have autism? Why does that matter? I looked on the Reddit thread where Mark Rosewater said she has autism, and then there was two threads. There was one that said, cool to know, Narset has autism. And then there was one that said, cringe to know, Narset has autism. And that one was, everyone was like, I have autism or I have Asperger's and I hate this. This is the stupidest thing. I don't want to draw attention to it. I want to escape from it. I think it's terrible. And then they're like, oh, what does Liliana have really bad genital warts?
What? That doesn't sound like comparable. That sounds like.
And then there was another one where like, this is great and representation, and here's everybody else who has every other thing. Gideon has survivor's guilt, and blah, 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 blah. I don't know where I stand on it. I basically don't care.
I don't want to take a side in that.
I think it's for people who.
I feel like it's an argument that isn't. I don't know which side to be on, and I don't want to pick a side. Yeah,
I feel like you probably need more of a stake in this to pick a side.
But
if you have a stake in this, let us know in the comments, because I'm really curious what people think about it. What's the last one? Uniqueness?
Yeah. 8. I mean, you can get. She lets you omniscience the top 4 spells in your library. That's pretty
slippery.
good.
She's a slippery bogle. She's hard to kill.
You call her a bogle?
Yeah.
Guys, it's just weird calling anything a bogle. That's not a 1/1.
Well, she's slippery, and then I was like, wait, slippery bogle.
Just kind of.
This is the ultimate commentary time.
I guess this is the slippery bogle deck.
Slippery bogle deck. And the next one, this is going to be the fastest one probably we've ever done, because it's Cindersplit, Eye of Wisdom, 38. 4 and a blue for a 1/4 homunculus, partners with Okan, obviously. At the beginning of combat, on your turn, flip a coin until you lose. Whenever you win, you draw a card.
Power is more powerful because drawing cards is better than doubling power.
Mildly.
Fun is
the same deck, same uniqueness, basically. It's a little bit less because it's drawing cards. At least Okan doubled himself.
Art is just as good, same level, like same playing field.
Yeah, her lore is she's partners with Okan in the Battlebond arena, whatever that's called. I think it's called Valor's Reach.
No. They're both one-eyed. It's cool. And a 9 for uniqueness, because the one thing that this card lacks is its blue card draw, and that's where you lose 1 point.
I already said that.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I said it again.
I agree with you and myself.
I agree with you
Moving
and
on.
myself.
Cindersplit, shortest of history for a ranking.
Especially for this high.
Yeah, for this high.
We've said we're going to go into detail, but it's like, how much CKL can you go into when he just has the same points as his buddy?
Yeah. Volrath, the Shape Stealer, is next. He's number 37.
2 and a soul tie for a 7/5 legendary shapeshifter. At the beginning of combat on your turn, put a -1/-1 counter on up to 1 target creature. Pay 1 until your next turn. He becomes a copy of target creature with a counter on it, except it's a 7/5 and has this ability.
This card is so cool. It ended up being right in the middle for power. It's really big. They gave it the critical 7, so it kills in 3 hits. Mm-hmm. And it can. I love that you can shrink creatures to make them worse and then still get the best of everything. Oh, this is going to be bigger than your guy, and it's not going to have the counters, and it's going to have all the abilities.
Well, what if you shrink a 9/9 down to an 8/8, then it's smaller? Get wrecked.
I guess that sucks. Next turn, you'll just have to put another one on it. It'll be a 7/7.
You know, then you can't pick another cool creature. Then you just want to.
I don't know. You're going to spread counters out among other things, and then just have Volrath become a better version of them. And then after you have Volrath as the thing, you just kill whatever was ailing you, if it was that bad, and then you have 1 for an extra turn.
If they have like a cool persist creature that they're using for something in their deck, it just comes in back with a -1 counter. You're like, ooh, I don't know what to do.
Perfect. You just go off with your Volrath, give it like persist, do like murderous redcap things.
Oh, there's probably so much cool stuff you could do with that.
There's gotta be. There's gotta be.
I don't want to overthink it because it's tough to find. Like, I am sure there's combos with this card, and I'm sure we could figure it out in like 5 minutes, but I don't want to spend that 5 minutes doing that.
Yes.
So, fun. This is a 10. You're cloning the best thing on the field. You're making their version of it smaller. You're making Volrath into whatever. Literally
this is the
anything.
sweet spot. It's great, but it's fair. So I have no problem playing with it or against it. It's awesome.
If you cast Black Sun Zenith for 1, you can be anything on the board.
That's true. I just thought, like, Devoted Druid's got to be insane.
Art's good.
You can see him becoming a copy of the thing he's about to dissect. That's awesome. Volrath is actually, like, not even that interesting of a character, but he just has so much. There's so much there. I like it.
What do you like about it? Tell me the cool parts.
All right. He apparently grew up with Gerard, so that's already, you get vicinity points for being Gerard's buddy. His dad was Sidar Kondo, and then he went on a trial to like become a man or whatever one of those trials you do, and somebody messed it up for him. So he got rejected and exiled, except Gerard was like, no, it's cool, like we're still friends, but he didn't care. He doesn't like Gerard. Comes back with barbarians, kills his entire clan, kills his dad, gives himself up to Phyrexia, and then there's the Evansar title that Urtai, Krovax, and Grevin were vying for, and he threw himself in the mix. He's like, I want my title back after he left because he used to be the Evansar of Wrath, which they were trying to, the Wrathy overlay was when the Plane of Wrath was going on top of Dominaria basically, and the Phyrexians were invading. It gets real dicey, but he was fighting Krovax. Krovax drew strength from killing the spectators, which I think we mentioned before, and then Urtai intervened, and then Volrath died, staring up at the Dominaria sky as the Wrathy overlay began.
He got killed by Krovax?
Krovax is lame.
Get wrecked.
Yeah, get wrecked.
What can you say except get wrecked?
Sucks to suck. That's the other thing you can say.
Yeah, you know what they say. Sucks to suck.
It does suck to suck. He only has a 6 for uniqueness.
I mean,
Clone.
yeah.
Clone with some spice.
Clone with it. Yeah, clone with a little bit of spice.
2 units of spice on this clone.
Yeah.
Right.
Being in 3 colors helps him be a little, like, not boring.
Being in the Sultai value wedge.
Yeah, you get to be in the best 3 colors in EDH.
Congratulations.
You done it. Next we have Sion of the Dragon. He costs Wooburg for a legendary dragon avatar, flying 4/4. Pay 2, search your library for a dragon permanent card and put it into your graveyard. If you do, Sion of the Dragon becomes a copy of that creature until end of turn, then shuffle your library. I love that. This is just so random. I love that he becomes the creature before you shuffle your library.
But just before.
It never matters.
So if you shuffle your library, you get the trigger of, like, that matters.
I just thought it was funny.
This is a Dragon Tribal / Voltron / this can be really sneaky and just completely murder people.
It also lets you play a version where you get to put them in your graveyard and just play Reanimator too.
Yeah, just entombs a dragon. That's super useful. You're playing all the colors. You get to do whatever you want. And we have it a 6 for power.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
On the upper side of it.
Echelon.
The upper echelon. This is just, if you haven't played against Sion or even played with it, it's really deceptively strong. If you hold up 2 mana, then you can't single target it because, now it's Silumgar Drifting Death, hexproof. Can't do anything. If it attacks, you can do things like, pre-combat, I'll make it into Atarka Worldrender, attack, it gains double strike. Make it into something else, like anything with fire breathing, fire breathe it. Now I'm gonna make it into Skitherix, and you're dead. You take 10 infect.
I never even thought about all that, but that's, yeah. I mean, this card,
That's 6 mana and 1 red for fire breathing? That's super easy.
it's not that crazy. It's certainly not crazy at all.
You can play stuff to shuffle your graveyard back in too. So you just keep doing it.
Just keep doing the same exact plan.
Yeah, it's got to be super strong. So it loses fun points for the lack of interaction, or maybe just the brevity of the game, because you've got to take this thing out.
I mean, yeah, if he sits in the field and you untap with 6 mana, it's a lot of damage. There's a lot of stuff you can do. It's a lot of different. It's all over. It's just so easy.
Yeah, a Wrath is your best bet. I don't think there's any indestructible dragons yet.
Is that true? I never even thought about that.
No, I don't think there are.
Huh?
You gotta. I mean, and even if there are, Terminus or Rift or something.
Yeah, that's fair. I've never thought about there not being an indestructible dragon. It's just kind of a random fact.
I love that every time new dragons come out, these players got to be frothing at the mouth. Like, what can I get? What can I get?
I mean, yeah, that's fair. 8 for the art. It's cool. It has better art than the Dragon.
Yeah, I don't know. His head is so big compared to his little feet.
It's perspective.
I know, but it just looks so weird. It looks like his neck is broken.
His head
you can't see it.
His head is close to the camera. For the sake of if this is a picture.
I can't get over it. I like his wings. The wing is my favorite part.
You know what perspective is?
I do.
Okay, that's why we gave it an 8.
Yeah, this gets a 10 for coolness. Every dragon has the dragon's spirit flowing in them, because we mentioned last episode.
Yeah, he's the father of all dragons.
He's the father of all dragons, and he literally just makes them whenever he wants.
Well, not an accident, basically. He just flies around, makes storms, and those make dragons. He doesn't even do it on purpose.
Where is he flying? Where is he? That doesn't matter.
The Bind Eternity.
He feels a visceral bond towards the dragon, stronger than most. And he shapeshifts into any dragon. Are you kidding me? That's so cool. He could become dragons because he's stuck on one plane. He's not a planeswalker. He's not in no planes like the dragon. He can just become Silumgar. He's never even seen or heard. That's just crazy to me.
Well, that's super cool. I never even thought about being able to become something you've never even known.
Ugh. Just because you feel the bond of the dragon, you're close to this guy, so you're just a god. Just do whatever.
That's how powerful the dragon is.
Yeah. I want to see that thing in a set, or have that guy be the bad guy.
If your uniqueness, this is a clone, but it gets out of your deck, and it's only dragons.
5 colors.
I think one of the main thing we lose uniqueness has. This is a tribal commander. God, how many tribal commanders are there? It's so ironic.
I can answer that. I really could answer that, but we haven't recorded that statistic.
I don't want to.
No, I don't care that much.
It's too many.
It's not useful. It's too many.
There's too many. Cool.
You love this card. The mimeo plasm. 2 and a Sultai for a 0/0. It's an ooze. As it enters the battlefield, you may exile 2 creature cards from graveyards. Does not target, and it's as it enters, so it's not a trigger. If you do, it enters the battlefield, it's a copy of one of those cards with a number of additional counters on it equal to the power of the other card. For example, you exile Jin-Gitaxias and Vorinclex. You can enter as a Vorinclex with 5+1/+1 counters from Jin, or as a Jin with 7+1/+1 counters from Vorinclex.
All right. I want to skip to coolness right away because I don't care what the lore says about this card. It just doesn't matter to me.
I like the lore.
Okay, that's fine.
That's what I was actually impressed.
That's fine. I'm just saying, if the lore was he's a pile of mush that does nothing, he still gets a 10 for coolness because there is nothing cooler than having a T-Rex arm to punch people
His
with.
arm is a T-Rex. What?
There's nothing cooler than that.
There's just nothing cooler than that.
It's tough. You could tell a 35-year-old man that and they're like, that's cool. And you could tell a 5-year-old child that and they're like, that's cool.
That child's head's gonna explode. They won't even be able to process. He absorbs the traits of any dead thing it engulfs. It's literally like the blob, and it just kind of absorbs it and takes its best stuff. It's from the plane Muraganda, which I actually kind of want to visit now. It's this just prehistoric, Stone Age plane, where there's dinosaurs and cave drawings level of, everyone's just a feral, scared little person.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
That would be cool.
So for power, it costs 5 mana, and you have to fill up your graveyard. And plus, if you're not getting an ETB, which you might not get, depending on what you're getting, I mean, he might just come down and be a big fatty that can do something eventually. It just depends. It's hard. You got to really work on filling your graveyard. I mean, if you just play Buried Alive, obviously it's going to be the best thing ever.
Yes, or you mill everybody. Well, that's going to get you somewhere.
Yeah. I mean, I do like this card a lot. I think it has a lot of cool potential and ways to play it.
It's strong.
It's
undeniably strong. It's going to be the best things that have happened all game.
Yeah, unless somebody has that new lantern. They'll be like,
oh yeah, Soul Guide Lantern.
Good card.
Card's so good. Card's great. 10 for fun.
I mean, you get to be the best things that have happened all game.
This is just Griselda Monster Masher. You're just mashing stuff up, and you're making ridiculous monsters.
Yeah, you get to have you get exactly a Vorinclex, but it has 12 counters.
And this is as fun as you want to go. If you want to make Jin-Gitaxias, sure, whatever, do that. And if your opponents can't beat that and hate that, then it's not fun for them. But if you're just making a 10/10 something with some great ability, I'm not gonna Oracle of Moldiah. That's just cool. That's so cool and interesting.
10/10 Oracle of Moldiah.
That card hits hard, right? This can kill with Commander.
I would say any 10/10 hits hard.
Well, with Commander, they hit twice as hard, basically.
Pretty much, yeah. Essentially.
Yeah. And what's the last one? Uniqueness. It's an ooze that conglomerates the 2 best creatures, exiles them. It's graveyard hate.
The main thing here that is not unique is we're in Sultai Graveyard deck.
Yeah,
there's a
little bit.
It feels like there's a lot of Sultai Graveyard
boys,
decks.
Sidisi and Tasigur and I don't know, what are the other ones?
I don't even remember.
But Sultai.
We've done a whole list of this.
Muldrotha, there you go.
Yeah, the Muldrotha. Wow, that's even more. It's like one of the most graveyard ones.
Okay, that's where we're at here. We're moving on. We're really making we're flying through this list.
Flying.
You know what else is flying?
Prash.
Number 34. This is probably somebody's pick to win.
3 and a Jund for a legendary creature, dragon, 5/5 flying. When you cast, which is awesome. When you cast.
No, it's not.
When you cast Prash, create X01 kobold creature tokens named kobolds of Ker's Keep, where X is the amount of mana you spent to cast Prash. Sacrifice another creature, Prash gets +1/+0. That's on its turn. Obviously.
Jinx. This card is super strong. We gave it a 9. It's when you cast it. You get 6 bodies to do whatever you want with for free. Well, uncounterable, I mean.
It's Jund Sacrifice, but this is... God, is this the most powerful Jund Sacrifice commander?
People were really loving that Corvold Faker's King, and we'll see where he ranks with the Throne of Eldraine set update. But this is better. This is better. This is so much better. This is the sack outlet and the stuff to sack.
I mean, if you cast him and get 6 guys and it gets countered, you still have 6 guys to fodder into things you're gonna have like Blood Artist into a Cutthroat. You're gonna just fodder it into that.
I'm not okay. We have not done this the whole list, I promise you, and we still are not doing this. Thinking about CEDH when we rank these things. Perforos is a commander Prash is a commander you have to police the whole time, because any sort of payoff, like Perforos, like I was saying earlier, or this is just going to deal a bunch of damage to you when I have creatures. I have Blood Artist. I got this. Now these 12 or these 6, 8, 10 bodies, however many you made, because it scales, are just going to wreak havoc on you and be super annoying.
Yeah, and you just ramp yourself up super high in land, so it doesn't matter. You can just keep casting, spam them out, and every time you cast them, you get more and more dudes.
Yes, this does go infinite with Food Chain. That's something to consider. That is another reason you have to police them, because most decks will just throw Food Chain in, right?
Ugh, I didn't even think about it being
even
a
a
food
casual
chain.
deck.
Didn't even think about this being a Food Chain commander, but yeah, obviously.
Yeah, it just goes infinite.
Yeah, I mean, why wouldn't he? Obviously.
Of course.
God, it's so
Fun,
gross.
loses a couple points because you have to police him. 9, the art is stellar. It's so good. Him sweeping the flames with his wings over the kobolds, they're just kind of like, don't eat me.
Is that what they do?
They literally go, don't eat me. He's worshipped as a god, and sometimes they go, don't eat me, or eat me and preserve my kin. But he doesn't care. He's literally just a jerk. He's like, I just get to eat them, and I'll eat them whenever I want to.
What a jerk.
Yeah, he is known to burn entire villages to punish a single hunter who strayed into his territory on Dominaria. And those who don't pay tribute to him are burned alive.
What a jerk.
He seems like a just person, like a reasonable, top of the food chain, totally not abusing his power at all.
Yeah. He's a good guy.
He's just a normal dude. But he's done sacrifice, so Prash, no offense, buddy. Losing some uniqueness points.
Jund Sacrifice? Never heard of that. Oh, wait, yes, I have.
Yeah, but your cast ability gives you some points.
I mean, he's definitely good. He's just Jund Sacrifice.
We personally love to hate on that archetype.
It's just there's so many of them.
There's too many of them. Number 33. This is ya boy. There's probably a lot of ya boys out there too.
This is number 33, Nicol Bolas the Ravager. And I know what his front side says, but God, there's no way I could ever read that back. One in the Grixis for an Elder Dragon 4/4 flying. When he enters the battlefield, each opponent discards a card. Pay 4 in a Grixis, exile him, and returns to the battlefield. Flipped over, activates the ability only as a sorcery. He flips into Nicol Bolas the Arisen. He's a Bolas Planeswalker, enters with 7 loyalty, +2, draw 2 cards. -3, Nicol Bolas the Arisen deals 10 damage to target creature or Planeswalker. -4, put target creature or Planeswalker from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. -12, exile all but the bottom card of target player's library.
This might be, don't take my word for it, but it's either the most or the second most words on a Magic card.
I don't know. I have no clue.
It's up there. It's in the top 1 or 2. I don't remember if something beat it, but it's got 2 sides and they're both full of text.
What about Chains of Mephistopheles? That has like 4,000 words.
No, I think the flip ones just beat it. Like the flip Nissa and the flip Garrick beat it, and like this, and Huntmaster has a bunch of words on it.
Okay.
All right, so this has a 4 for power. It's not breaking any games. This is just ETB, all your opponents discard, and it flips into a really good mid-range thing. But it's 7 mana, and it can be responded to.
Yes. Always remember it can be responded to. If your opponents are tapped out, that's when you take advantage of this. But
Now, flipping this card is like plan F. Don't actually plan on doing that. Just play him, get the initial discard value, and then build your deck to either take advantage of this card, flicker him a bunch, just play mid-range, or you just play Bolas Tribal like a lot of people like to do.
I've played this card. You never flip them. I've never tried. Oh, that's not true. I flipped them many a times. My opponents were almost always tapped out, or I had nothing in my hand.
Or you had nothing else to do. Like, hope you don't kill it. 7 for fun. Why don't you explain that?
The 7 fun. People hate discarding. I don't know why. It's like one of the most hated things ever. But people absolutely hate discarding.
The first one's fine. It's when he dies, and then you play him again. It's like just annoying.
I still don't get it. Like, discarding isn't that big of a deal to me, and it never has been.
No, it's not that bad. I'll do it. It adds up. It's good, and that's like it affects me. It's annoying.
We've had a friend who literally like hated this card so much that he would counter it instead of letting it resolve and making he basically said, "I'll discard my counter spell."
Yeah.
Instead of just making everyone discard. It's like the 4/4 body isn't a threat.
It was a little weird. The 4/4 doesn't do anything. It's just keep it. Keep your eyes on it if it's going to flip. But other than that, I wouldn't worry too much about it.
Yeah.
I think the art is fantastic, and it's good enough on the front side that it makes up for the weird stuff on the back side.
The front side is the side you see. That's why it's so important. When I'm looking at art, I care about what's on the front side because I'm always going to have him face up in my command zone.
Yeah, flipping him is a trial, and he's not going to stay flipped for very long.
Yeah,
if he does flip. So.
Yeah, it's not awful on the back, but it's not good.
It's just derpy.
It's just he's got like weird stump hand.
No, but I love the blue flame breath. It's amazing. And how much into Nicol Bolas lore do we go? I just didn't even write anything because we just know it all.
He's Nicol Bolas.
Orchestrated a war against all planeswalkers where he tried to absorb their life force. I mean, that alone, if he had done nothing else, is just a 10.
It's not worth it. It's not worth going into detail.
He's the bad guy of almost every Magic story. He's brothers with Ugin. Those are the main points.
He's what's the big bad guy called? Like in stories? Isn't there a term for that?
Antagonist?
Yeah. He's just exactly that was the word I was looking for.
Okay, cool.
He's just the antagonist of Magic, but through Magic's history, he's been one of the biggest, baddest, especially since the mending.
Yes. Well, what's interesting is hasn't caused even remotely the amount of damage as new Phyrexia has.
Oh yeah.
Just the Phyrexian oil, or even Yawgmoth probably.
I mean, yeah, Yawgmoth's destroyed whole planes.
He just wipes stuff out.
Look at
I would
what-
love to see a plane just get wiped out and have nothing left. Like, oh yeah, remember Ixalan? It's gone. And I'd be like, that's cool. Way cooler than if we went back to Ixalan. Let me tell you.
No one wants to go back to Ixalan, except for those cool flip lands.
Just give me more cool flip-lands.
Yeah, but
Those could have been Storm the Vault. It could have just been anything. Why did it have to be an Ixalan?
because it's on Ixalan.
None of those were even referencing really places on Ixalan, except I guess Vault of Ketlakan was. Oh man, they were all places at the end. Crap.
Exactly.
But they could still make it anything.
Nope.
If you're telling me Kaladesh doesn't have a vault somewhere, then I think you're mistaken.
I'm telling you, Kaladesh doesn't have a vault. And a 9 for uniqueness.
Kaladesh doesn't have a vault. Nicol Bolas.
A 9 for uniqueness. You can go a lot of routes with this. You can play your mid-range deck. You can play a discard theme deck. You can play Bolas Tribal.
Much better Bolas Tribal Commander than the OG.
I mean, the OG costs like 87 mana, and then on your upkeep you have to pay 87 more.
85.
Yeah. So how's that for you if you want to play? It literally costs like how much? I forget. It's like 12 mana.
It's blue, blue, red, red, black, 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 and then it's black, red, blue. I think,
So it's 10 mana.
basically.
10 mana for the first time, and every time you go around, you have to do it again. And that card stinks.
No, yeah, this is, you actually get to play your Bolas Tribal cards and feel good about it. And there's only 2 more today.
Number 32, Lord Winggrace.
2 and a Jund for a Lord Windgrace. Starts at 5 loyalty, +2, discard a card, then draw a card. If it was a land, you draw 2 instead. -3, return up to 2 target land cards from your graveyard to the battlefield. They don't get tapped by this ability. -11, destroy up to 6 target non-land permanents, then create 6 2/2 green cats with Forest Walk. They had to make that ability bad before you say anything because the first 2 abilities are hot fire.
I couldn't imagine if that was like something else that was hot fire.
Yeah, they just couldn't make it hot fire. It's still really good. It's destroy the best 6 things and then get useless cats.
No, you get all the
Oh,
cats.
you get the cats? You don't even beast with them?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, so the ability is just still really good.
Yeah.
Just don't expect, it didn't have to say win the game on it.
Yeah.
He has a rock solid 5 for power. He's very, very, very good.
I mean, he just he doesn't really run away or control games. He's not oppressive in any way. He's strong though. He comes out at 5, you plus him, discard a land, and then draw 2. It's already card advantage. It's such good card advantage.
It's better because you're putting lands where you want them in the graveyard.
And then you minus them, get back 2 lands that are in there. He's strong. I don't know. 5 sounds low, but I mean, we ranked him at the time, and we have a ranking system. If you want to look at that, you can look at it yourself. I mean, it sounds low now thinking about it, but
it doesn't really. He starts at 5. He just kind of churns through your deck. He's just a good value engine. He's not going to break the game or anything.
That's fair. I mean, yeah.
The deck you have is going to be the thing that like does stuff. He just lets you do it faster.
8 for fun. I mean, he's a lands mana commander. The thing where he loses fun is a lot of his decks. Main win cons are land destruction.
I don't even hate that. That's viable because this guy's gonna end the game real fast after. But like,
that's one of the most. What I'm saying is that's one of the most hated things in Magic.
Well, also just the lands deck is a little repetitive. The sequences are repetitive. So between those two things, that's losing a couple points. I think the art is right in the mid to great tier. Nothing impressive. He just looks like an awesome Panther guy.
He does. I like that he's what the cat's called Leonin, but he's not. He's not just a lion.
He's not Leonin. He's literally a panther.
Oh, I was thinking. Well, I like that he's like basically a Leonin, but he's not. He doesn't have to be a lion. He's a. I don't know what you call a panther version. He's a cat. He's a humanoid cat, but he's not a lion. It's like every other one.
There you go.
Yeah,
I get what you mean.
Every humanoid cat is always a lion. And it's kind of like, well, why can't we?
That is a little bit lame.
Why can't we have
never
other
really
cats?
noticed that. No, okay. He's got a 10 for coolness because he's done a bunch of stuff in the past. He didn't really like Urza. He tried to control Venser, whatever that was going. I didn't even care about that. But he gave his life to Seal Rift in Dominaria, and he was just like a huge figurehead and super important in the past earlier stories. So he gets 10.
Yeah, he's like he looks so pettable.
He looks fuzzy.
He looks like he would hate it, but it looks like you would.
I think he'd come around.
I think if you pet him, he'd like growl at you and you'd be like, I'm sorry.
I don't think you could even get close enough to pet him. He just seems like he's a really grumpy, vindictive person.
Just smack, like if you got even closer, he'd just smack you with his little stick.
At one point, he was under the control of a bunch of slivers, too.
Random.
I don't know how you do that. He resides in Urborg, for those who didn't know.
I didn't know. I guess that's why you always play Cabal Coffers or Borg in his deck.
That's probably why. And a 9 for uniqueness. He's a planeswalker that can be your commander, and he filters lands where you need him to go. And he makes 2/2s of Forest Walk if you just blow stuff up.
I mean,
great, sure.
I mean, it's a lot of uniqueness. I mean, he's a Jund lands commander. He's not sacrifice themed.
He's the Jund lands commander. Let me tell you, it's only Jund sacrifice. How many decks got upgraded to the 10th power because this existed? Where they're like, I was playing Prosh for my lands deck, but now I'm just playing this.
Yeah, this is way cooler. And this deck is to play like a legit win con of like Scapeshift.
Scapeshift into Valkut Vesuva or Cabal Coffers into some kind of big X spell. It's great. Or Jockle Hops.
Ugh. Ugh.
Stick to the first two.
Don't say Jockle Hops.
Oh, sorry. Jockle, H-A-U-P-S.
Jockle.
Pierre Imagine Rascal is the last one we have today. He's number 31, leaving only 30 more commanders to go after this.
2 and a green for a legendary human 1/1, partner with Toothy Imaginary Friend. If one or more counters will be put on a permanent your team controls, that many +1 of each of those kinds of counters are put on that permanent instead. That is such weird wording, but it has to be worded that way.
It's hard scales for every type of counter. He partners with Toothy, which is actually not the worst card ever, so he's got a 6 for power.
Toothy's not a bad card at all.
No. And the initial, you got to pack your deck full of the right kinds of cards. You don't pack your deck full of this enters with 5 counters and then it gets 1. No, you want things that get counters over and over so they get double 2. So my creature can go from one counter, Pierce says 2, then 4, 6, 8, 10, and not just start out with 5 and go to 6.
Great example of that is like not Walking Ballista. What's the other one? Hangerback Walker.
Hangerback Walker?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, you're constantly. I mean, each turn you can just put the 1 mana in and get 2 counters. That's
Walking Ballista too. That puts counters on itself.
Well, yeah, that's true. But I was thinking like without such a high investment cost.
Yeah. Okay. I got you. Fun, 10 for fun. This is so much fun. It's the partners. These are the most. Like they're not egregious. It's just Toothy's gonna draw me a bunch of cards, and Pierre's gonna make Toothy A huge and B just kind of power up my deck. He's just an engine that costs really cheap. This guy he comes down early, and then he'll come down mid-game after he dies.
Also, you get to double like what is it? Manifest counters, which don't matter at all.
Manifestation counter.
Manifestation.
It's longer than manifest.
It's manifestation counters. You can double those by putting that guy in your deck because he has partner with a blue guy.
Arbiter of the Ideal is the card we're making fun of, by the way. 6 for art. That's the one thing. He's just missing the art. It's lame. He's got a tooth.
He has a tooth. And if you want to... I see how much different this character looks on Pierre. Look at his whim. Pierre's whim. He's not even the same...
Was Pierre white originally? Because he's white on that card. He's just a white kid. And now he's like a black kid. I don't pick one. I don't care which one you pick.
Pierre is obviously intended to be black. Yeah. Very obviously. And then whoever drew the first one just like didn't draw... whoever drew Pierre's whim just didn't draw a black kid.
No. It would be so funny to see the art direction for that card. If they were just like, here's everything about Pierre. And they just didn't say that he was black. Because you have to mention it. Maybe they just didn't want to mention it. Or they just assumed. Oh, so funny.
I would like to see it too, now that you're saying it. 10 for coolness. He has an imaginary friend that he fights with in the arena. That's so cool.
That's adorable, and it's awesome. And the friend is like ferocious. It's toothy. He's just got a ton of teeth, and he's like this ooze monster thing.
It's another like trope from like a movie where it's like somebody teams up with like the little kid has the big scary monster with them.
Yes, that movies, games, anything.
The one that came to my head for a game was League of Legends.
Yep. I was thinking of like, was it Pete? Pete with his dragon? Pete and his dragon or something?
Isn't that Pete the Dragon? But I don't know.
Puff the Magic Dragon? That's something else.
I don't know. I was thinking of Annie from League of Legends. She has a little teddy bear and she throws it and it becomes a big giant monster.
Mm-hmm. Oh man, can we think of one more? Because there's so many.
I mean,
how about like, this is the most random one. I think it was like Terrator from like Mortal Kombat like 2 ago. It's just like a little girl with this big monster guy.
Yeah, it is a very much a trope. It's been done a lot. Mm-hmm. 9 for uniqueness. This is like the doubling season commander. Like if you want to build.
Oh yeah.
Like if you want to build a Simic doubling season type deck, you get to play this guy and just do it all sorts of way. I know the 1 point is lost because this is ultimately Simic counters.
Simic counters
it's so
or
much,
green +1 counters.
God, it's cooler than that because it doesn't have to just be +1/+1 counters at least.
Yeah, you can go loyalty. You can go, I don't know, charge counters. Anything.
Anything. As long as it's anything. Well, that's the list, and
I'm so excited. There's only 3 more of these videos. Can you believe it? It doesn't feel like it.
I mean, there's 3 more of these. There's 3 more until we get to number 1, and then we have the 2 update videos.
Yes, the 2 set updates from Throne of Eldraine, and then we gotta do Theros.
Yeah. This is really cool, though. This is, I can't believe how close we're getting.
I'm so glad to share the actual juicy parts. I never would have thought, like I know we were, in my head I wanted to finish, and I was never gonna stop finishing, but back when we were in like 600, I felt like I was never gonna finish.
A lot of it was a slog.
Doing 50 at a time? Yeah, that was a slog. Because we have to order 50 commanders, and then we have to get the little JPEG that we show you guys. We get to get 50 of those.
Yeah, and we have to talk about commanders that sometimes were so boring. And like we have to say something about them. We can't just be like, and this is this, and this is this, because who wants to watch that?
And then those are the commanders we get yelled at about. You get your creatures +0, +1. What are you thinking?
His name is Young Phoenix.
And don't yell at us because those 2 comments were separate. We're not talking about Young Phoenix because he gives you creatures +1/+1. Just to clear the air. But thank you to our 36 patrons who helped produce this entire show, and it's probably one of the reasons we're actually still going. There's 36 of you. You're all amazing, and there's 2 bonus patrons.
Our mothers, Michelle and Tammy. You guys are awesome. Thank you all so much. We love you guys as much as we can without making you uncomfortable because we respect you enough not to make you uncomfortable. If you would like to buy any card or any of these cards in this list, or maybe you want to buy Tim Curry and Drag Funko Pop, Dr. Frankenfurter, you can head over to tcgplayer.com using the link in the description below, and that will help support the channel. And maybe you want to support us on Patreon, but you're thinking, a monthly fee, I just can't do it. You can go, instead of going to Patreon to give us a monthly fee, you can go to buymeacoffee.com and basically a virtual tip jar. Buy us a coffee.
Throw in $1, $2, $3, whatever. Don't worry about all these links we're throwing at you. They're all in the description. We have a very organized description. Our Twitter link is in there too. Follow us on Twitter.
Yeah.
Oh, and I guess just to mention this now, the Magic the Gathering Content Creator Awards is coming up. And we're nominated for 2 categories. So you should definitely check the link in the description and vote for us for Best Medium Audience Podcast, Best Commander Podcast in the world. It's in the name. And Best YouTube Channel Medium Audience, which we have. We're amazing. 4K and 4K. And someone pointed out that we were 401K.
Yeah, we were 401K.
So we're a good investment. So go vote for us, and we're going to hype up all the votes, and we're going to plug it on Twitter. So follow us on Twitter, because it's pretty exciting. I'd love to win.
I mean, winning feels really good all the time.
That's why we play Magic.
Yeah, because we're so good. Peace out, Tribe Scout.